The United States of America is not governed by a government that is America first. They campaigned on America first, but they're not. They are in this order: Trump's fragile ego first, and then however he can enrich his friends below that second, going after enemies, and then his decorating projects, his vanity projects. One very alarming thing that the United States government recently did was bail out Argentina. And the president of Argentina, Milei, is a Elon Musk protege. They both handed each other chainsaws, just completely nuts. So we just gave Argentina $20 billion, and only somebody connected to Trump would do this. And this guy, President Milei, puts on a concert to celebrate the $20 billion from the United States of America, from all the people that don't have health care in rural America, suburban America, inner city America. We're paying for this. Play the clip. Okay, pause it. And then there's like all of these headlines: Trump-backed president concert amid crashing economy. Argentina's Javier Milei gives a concert to revive his re-election campaign. Milei headlines rock concert to promote his book. And here's the thing. I'm just going to say that I'm grateful that Kanks is not doing concerts. I mean, that's just one little thing that we can have in the midst of this authoritarian takeover. And we're not on the edge of it. We're in the middle of this authoritarian takeover. So here's where it comes in with Argentina and how this is such a MAGA Trump first policy, because it helped a billionaire friend of his make billions of dollars, this bailout. Well, he's abandoned American farmers that largely voted for him. And every Democrat should be playing clips like this for their reelection campaigns. Here is a farmer from Arkansas, a soybean farmer. Listen to him.
Well, like we talked earlier, we went from 12 billion to zero. And then, as a farmer, we get up one morning and you give Argentina, which is our second biggest competition in the world. They're the largest exporters of soybean meal in the world. So I get up one morning, I turn the news on, and you give $20 billion of taxpayer money to my competition.
So what Trump did with the soybean farmers, he started all of the tariffs. Well, China doesn't give a shit because we're only 10% of their economy. So they start buying soybeans elsewhere. And now Trump's like, I love my farmers. I'm going to bail out my farmers. It was an unforced error that this administration does. And now we're going to bail out farmers that, had he just gone with the economy that Joe Biden handed him, that was trucking along, we wouldn't be in this mess. We wouldn't have to bail out Argentina to the tune of $20 billion. But they are so hell-bent on making sure that this Musk-Trump economic plan just completely blows all of the global markets so that these oligarchs can be the ruling class. Here's a tweet from Chris Murphy. He says, this is out of hand. These agents are there to cause trouble and violence, not to keep people safe. These are the scenes that play out in war-torn, destitute countries, not America. Let me tell you what he's talking about for those of you that are listening. It is a picture of an ICE agent pointing a weapon at a woman who was recording him. And this woman, Jess, is a U.S. citizen and a member of a neighborhood patrol team that documents and shares ICE activity across the city, was filming when the incident occurred earlier. So we have ICE agents in masks. And remember, this is the party that lost their minds about wearing masks during COVID. Well, now they're pro-mask. And these ICE agents, I saw a report that one of them shot a priest with some sort of pepper bullet. These ICE agents are aiming their guns at citizens. Sadly, you guys, we're just a couple of news cycles away from ICE agents killing American citizens because they're recruiting the worst of the worst. And they're not training these people. This is the midst of this authoritarian takeover that we are dead in the center of. And who is right at the epicenter right now is J.B. Pritzker. And Trump has called for his arrest. And I can't even begin to impress upon you all how unprecedented and illegal and authoritarian and psychotic it is to call for the arrest of a sitting governor that is doing his job. Pritzker is doing his job, which is upholding the Constitution. Donald Trump and all of his unelected sycophants, psychos like Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, they are doing their best to dismantle the Constitution. And so we have this battle going on right now where the dipshit governor of Texas has sent troops to Illinois. And this is not, there's no reason for us to be in a civil war other than Trump doesn't like states that don't vote for him because he has a small, fragile, delicate ego. And I get that by itself. I understand a broken person having a fragile ego. What I don't understand are the millions of Americans that enable this toxic man and all of the people in government, from the Supreme Court to little pipsqueak Moses Mike Johnson and others that support the dismantling of democracy. Here is J.B. Pritzker, and this guy gets it. Play the clip.
Says that, you know, it's a hellhole in Chicago. When he says that there's crime rampant across Chicago or Illinois, it's a complete BS. Number one, we're in the top half of states, 19th, in terms of safety, 19th. Right. So we're in the top half of states. Like there's a whole bunch of states that are much worse than we are.
Like Texas.
Violent crime, like Texas. And Chicago is not in the top 25 or 30 cities in terms of violent crime. So, you know, and look at who's at the top, by the way.
Okay, so let's just take a moment here to, first of all, talk about how nice it is to have a politician that can make sense and speak coherently and fight for his citizens, fight for his state. The fact that he's having to fight the president of the United States is so unraveling. It shocks the conscience that Trump has gotten this far. I think that after January 6th, something broke in all of us, that he got away with it. And now you have so many Americans that celebrate the villains. And so I believe with everything in me that there are more of us than there are of them. And I think his policies are wildly unpopular. I think you've got people that have buyer's remorse out the wazoo for voting for this dictator authoritarian. And we need to stay focused and locked in because we are right in the middle of the authoritarian takeover. And shit's going to get real when the Supreme Court comes back in session. They've had a good time with their shadow docket, but now they're going to have to write those decisions out. And so I believe that public opinion, public peaceful protests can move the moment. And I think that we all have to stay locked in, boycott the people that we can boycott, retweet, regram, and promote messages like those of J.B. Pritzker. But here's the problem with people in like suburbs and some people in rural America. This is for me, the epicenter that is the cancer that existed in America before MAGA. And this is the epicenter that exists in MAGA. And it is this Christian signaling, this white supremacist form of toxic Christianity. And I lived around this my whole life, around these Christians that go to mega churches and they Christian signal to you. And they say, oh, I just got back from Bible study, or the Lord this, or, oh, this is a God thing, or I'm going to pray for you. Meanwhile, they're fucking around on their husband, or the husband's fucking around on the wife, which I don't give a shit about that because I'm not into purity culture and all of that stuff. But these people do. They live in complete duplicity at all times. And so here's Kristi Noem right here. Kylie, play this with no sound. This is Kristi Noem, and she's praying. She's praying right here to all of these ICE agents and other agencies. And then she goes out, she sends these masked sociopaths out in the streets of the United States of America, and they are roughing people up. They are aiming guns at them. They are shooting priests with pepper gas. They are shooting people that are just there to document that are there to document the egregious human rights violations. And here's what's so bad about this, you guys. 70% of the people in ICE custody have zero criminal record. But Kristi Noem and the MAGA Christians will say, it's fine, we can do what we want to do because we prayed before it. That's it. That's what they think they have to do. And I'm telling you, as a woman that had to live in a red state around these whacked out Christian nationalists, that's as deep as it gets. They think they can do whatever they want, you know, fuck their wife's best friend, slap everybody on the ass, steal money from friends, embezzle money, all sorts of grinder shit. I can't tell you how many married men I've seen in the Bible Belt that have grinder profiles and fuck around on their wives. They think they can do all this because all they have to do is pray and then ask Jesus for forgiveness, and then they rinse and repeat. So Trump has offered this permission structure to these broken, very abused Christians that it says, oh, he's getting away with it too. I'm not so alone in my misery. He fucked the porn star. He raped his ex-wife. He's an adjudicated rapist. He's a fraud. He's a con artist. He bankrupted casinos. He's stealing, from the piggy bank of the United States Treasury via, this illegal gift. And in any other administration, it would be an illegal gift to take a plane. And it makes them feel better about themselves to have a piece of shit at the top of the ticket. It makes them feel better. And that's the cancer. And that's the problem. And I want to leave you all with something that just shocked the shit out of me. And I'm really here for it. And I'm here to say that whenever Democrats rise up, I'm going to amplify it. I'm going to promote it. And I'll be goddamned if Chuck Schumer, didn't come out with a banger of a post.
Now we're in a government shutdown. And you may be asking yourself, how the hell did we get here? Donald Trump and the Republican Party are hell-bent on taking health care away from 60 million people, closing community clinics, rural hospitals, nursing homes, all so they can keep giving tax breaks to their billionaire friends. It's a disgrace. So Democrats have 3 words for this. No fucking way. It's literally
okay, Chuck. All right. And it goes on. And he talks about how the premiums are going to go up. But I know that all of you get irritated like I do, and you feel helpless and you feel despair that we feel like the Democratic leadership is not doing enough. But when they step up and they do something, let's not put them through a purity test. Let's say, all right, bravo, Chuck. And we can keep pushing them and say, Chuck would like for you to not take AIPAC money anymore. But when we agree with these Democrats that have to fight for us, that actually go to work every day at the United States government, we can't agree with them on everything. We have to find common ground because we cannot lose our country to these emotionally stunted fucking dorks. You guys, we just cannot do it. So bravo, Chuckles. Really proud of you. I love the no fucking way shit. Keep going, big guy. Still think we can get a better fighter in there. But if you keep this shit up, I got your back. All right. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.